Hello.
Hello, we are back.
Yes, we finally made it.
Okay.
How's it going?
It's going good. It's going good. I had a few mishaps, right? But it's going good. How
That's
about you?
it's going. I'm like, it was my husband's birthday yesterday, and I wasn't well, I kind of forgot about the birthday, but did not. But I was expecting him to work. But I don't know why I did because he usually don't work on his birthday anyway.
Right.
So my mother had came over and kind of made a big deal about it. I'm like, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, come on, Angela. I said, well, I can't even remember what he got me for my birthday. I said, he must have gave me some money. That's why I don't remember.
Right. Probably.
Yeah, because if you give me money, you know how you just start doing everything with it. I might pay a bill, I might do this or whatever, or give somebody some money. So
I actually don't like people to give me money for gifts.
So yeah.
Even if I need the money. Now sometimes it kind of depends, maybe, but yeah, like as a rule of thumb, just get a gift.
Yes, get a gift so I can remember it. Mm-hmm. I'll be like, I don't remember what you got me. Mm-hmm. Or he'll say, oh, well, go get it yourself. Mm-hmm. But then that's what I remember I bought myself.
Right.
So look, I ain't bought her nothing.
I don't remember buying nothing, huh?
So yeah, I'm about to pull the same game. So yeah, he just turned 56.
Okay, well, congratulations.
Girl, yeah, he getting up there.
It's always good to have another year around the sun.
Exactly. I mean, because we all did like Sunday, we did a birthday breakfast. Mm-hmm. Some of his family members and I, because his younger cousin had a book signing at a what was it? At some kind of someplace. Mm-hmm. And because she had published a book, so a lot of his family members came into town for that. So we did that Sunday, and then girl, it is what it is. As these grandkids got me strung out. So there we go. I said, look, and then my living room TV went out. Or my sitting room TV.
That's funny you say that because mine is blinking and stuff when I turn it on, and so I was just telling my son, like, Lord, don't tell me I have to get a new TV. Like all of this money I've been coming out of, like, come on,
girl. I'm like, because he already kept saying he wanted an 80-inch. And I'm like, well, you definitely ain't putting that in that formal living room now. So I think it started the last time I really watched Bill Collector, because I still ain't watched the new episode yet. But the last time I watched it, and my TV kind of did something real weird. Mm-hmm. It's like the smart part, like you had to get warmed up or something. I don't know. So we've been like, you have to cut the daggone TV on, and then you got to take its time because it keeps saying it have to update. Mm-hmm. Update it. Then it finally does that. Then it gets, but like every app that you have on there, you have to put all the passwords back in. Mm-hmm. So then, mm-hmm. Girl, Sunday, it just completely went out. I said, ain't this about nothing? Because I only can really watch cable downstairs, because it seems like I need to call Frontier. All of my cable boxes are deactivated, and they charge me $300-some a month.
Oh no!
Girl, so only one that really works is the DVR one that's on the one downstairs.
Yeah. Oh no! I'm so it's funny. Talk about Stone Age. I'm surprised you still paying for cable in general. Like
it was so funny. I had an issue with my phone. I got a landline too.
Oh, Lord.
So, well, for business, I had to have one. So they just finally did it where we could go online and do a lot of stuff, but you had to have a landline in the house. So one time I had a problem with my landline, and so when the technician came over, he looked at me. He said, "You're not old." Why are you so? He said, He's like, you one of 3,000 people who still has cable in Fort Wayne.
That's
I'm
why
like,
when you said cable, I'm thinking, yeah, I'm surprised you still got cable.
girl, I got cable.
What's funny is I've always been like, I guess, ahead of the curve because I have not had cable in a very, very long time, even before. So I love to tell this story because I just like to go back to Netflix first coming out. But I feel like every streaming service that came out, I probably was on it first.
I got all the streaming platforms.
I call myself boycotting Xfinity because I got pissed off about their bills. And girl, I'm talking, this was like 20 years ago. And so we had Netflix, and at the time, like, you know how now we got Peacock and all of the Bravo shows come on Peacock. Well, at the time, you could go online and just watch it there. Like they would upload the episodes online. Because we didn't have a lot of streaming things, you know. Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like I figured out a way because I didn't miss a beat with the things that I watched, but I figured out that with like it was a lot of cable channels that I didn't need. Like I narrowed down, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, even now I do have most of the platforms, but I probably specifically use of course Netflix. That's without saying. But Peacock, Philo is what I use primarily because Philo gives me a variety of things that I can't find, like the stuff on WeTV, OWN, you know what I mean? TLC. Now you can get that on Max because I got Max, but Max don't update. Like some of the stuff do and some of it don't. So it's a hit or miss. Because you might have to wait till the end of the season. But anyway, yeah, girl, I'm like, I have not had cable in decades. Well, I might have had it some kind of way just because maybe I got something that it came, you know what I mean, with it. But as far as like the internet, but it's and that was when Xfinity started. They got an app or something. Yeah, they got an app. So right, I ain't had no box or that DVR stuff in forever.
Well, my whole thing was we had a Fire Stick for years. You know, when they first used to crack them, we had that probably, I don't know, 15, 16 years. But my internet would only it wouldn't go all the way to my sitting room. So we used to try to watch it. We couldn't. I was like, forget this. So then I ended up watching it upstairs, but girl, it was just, you know, it just had too many things on it. And I was trying to really watch something. I was like, I ain't got time to go through all this shit. So cable, I guess I'm setting my ways because I feel like, and I still got all these other platforms I pay for, but I feel like to build my cable, I got to purchase all these things. I got Philo, I got Netflix, I got Prime, I got BritBox, I got HBO Max, and I have HBO. That's why I got HBO Max. But I noticed that cable, like we're getting less, but they're charging you more. Because I don't have Showtime no more. I don't got Cinemax no more. Not because I didn't want.
You can get rid of it. Because guess what? You can get Showtime with Paramount. That's how I
like to watch live TV, and I feel like.
Well, you know, that's funny you would say live TV because, like, my Peacock, I got the ads, so that's about as live as I need to.
Because on my TV upstairs in my room. Like I said, I feel like they deactivated my cable box and they sent me a new one, but I can't get it to work. So we just been watching the streaming platforms. But what I don't like is for some reason, I cannot get my local channel so I can see the local news.
Oh, okay.
You know,
well, if that be the case, then yeah, you're on your own with that one because I don't watch the news.
Oh, I like to watch.
I every time I say that sentence, I feel like I sound so like, you know, dumb because but it really started when I moved here. So it's just been a thing because and I remember that very vividly because we was watching cable. And so the news came on and I'm looking at it but I just moved here, so I didn't know the people who was talking. I didn't know what they was talking about. I was like, what am I watching this for? Like,
just one moment.
I'm
Just one
like,
moment.
these people. So I just never went back to it. And then I guess as time moves on, um, at this point, I don't know that I need to, you know what I'm saying, sit down and actually watch it. There's so many ways to get to it, even from the news station itself, posting and things.
Mm.
So yeah, but let's go and get into this episode. We gonna going into Potomac, right?
Girl, yes.
And get this on out the way, honey,
Yeah,
right?
I watched it maybe one time and a half. And I thought it was lackluster.
Mm-hmm.
The
I
whole
did too. Didn't I tell
Karen,
you?
the whole Karen thing was a letdown to me. She came in there like she was high and mighty, and I'm like, bitch, you just got out of prison.
I thought they let her off very easy, and
Yes.
and not that I expected them to be hard on her, but I was like, you showed up to this reunion like you came to the last one. You know what I mean? She didn't get any. There was no type of interaction with them, even having a confrontation. Or let me rephrase that, because I didn't expect them to be combative with her, but
No.
I expected there to be some dialogue
Yeah.
about her missing, about, you know what I mean, about the things she said in the interview. But like you said, they really seem to just let her just have her way. Yeah.
I mean,
And
she
so we
came
got
in.
nowhere,
Yeah. Came in.
I guess that is a picture of how the season went, because I thought it was lackluster. And as a 3-part reunion, I said to myself, can we normalize not having every reunion be 3 parts? Like, Summer House has one reunion. If it needs to be one reunion, just wrap that shit up in one reunion. We cool with it. Don't waste our time for 3 weeks. Let's wrap it up. Let's move on to the next housewife. Don't usher the next ones in, because we ready about this time anyway.
Exactly. Watch it. Like I said, I didn't take no notes. And I just thought, oh my goodness. You kind of went in a little bit on Wendy, a little bit.
Well, what did you think? Let's start with the receipt from Monique. What did you think about that? See, go ahead.
One thing I didn't like, because we got a boop all the way through there, and then so we really didn't know what the receipt was. Not until Ashley just came out and said it was a receipt of her child, that she recorded her child talking, and I'm like, I already said from the jump, it was not Jazzy. Kiana told that girl, Cookie. That's what I believe. And Kiana kept interjecting herself. So it made it even seem more like that's what she did. But that receipt, Monique was lackluster. Karen was lackluster. And Gizelle didn't have no package.
Nope. And like I say, I think that's conducive of the season, right? It is Gizelle, right, didn't have a package, because what did she really, do for the season? I have been on Gizelle's side all season. If you go back and watch the other reviews, I've enjoyed Gizelle this season. However, we didn't get anything
Nothing personal.
Yeah, not right. We got nothing from her. And to find out on the reunion couch, like she candidly says, like, well, I'm dating the congressman too. Well, where was he? Where was any conversation about it? You know what I mean? Like, why is it that we find out so casually sitting on this couch? And that is one thing that kind of annoys me while I'm watching these shows, is because I'm understanding of allowing people to have some sort of privacy, fine. However, why are you here? If you're not going to share, this is something that I could share, I guess. And if you dating somebody who you can't share with, I guess maybe you shouldn't date them at this time. I don't know. You know what I mean? But I do think that there's a dance that has to be done, and she's losing. And I wondered if her not having a package, I wondered if that is any type of hint to her, like, hey, we need some more personal story, even at the expense of maybe tossing you out and bringing a lackluster person who's willing to share more of their personal story, but I think you're right. I agree with you that receipt fell flat. I was gonna say they really just keep lifting Stacey up, and without even doing it. Like every time, it's one of the things like the grave you dig for me, dig a double one.
Yeah.
Because you fall in it, right? Like, because I'm thinking, I don't know if you proved anything. Yeah, I thought to myself while they were going back and forth, and while Monique was really just trying to, hone in on the fact that, because like you said at the time, we didn't know that was her daughter or whoever, one of our children.
Mm-hmm.
But to say, well, why would she know that information? It's like, well, she's a kid, like I'm not really sure what she had to say you could take at face value. According to what Ashley said, she ain't said much or nothing anyway. It was like you seemed like you was just hearing something and now you asking somebody something. But I questioned why nobody brought up Cookie. Like, why did we just go past this whole situation with Cookie? Because I agree with you that even in the midst of this Chris and Stacey deal, it all came from Cookie. So why, like it fell flat. So you're right, Monique's return was flat. Karen's coming on the couch was flat,
Yes.
I think now let's get to Wendy, Wendy and Eddie is giving Joe and Teresa Judice.
Okay, I don't
After
really know that.
she went through and kind of did her explanation, I have to admit, because we did the whole story, we did the video when they got arrested, and I think we're gonna follow this a little bit, of course, because it's Housewives news. But I think at first we questioning like, okay, how do you get yourself in this situation? You know what I mean? But I feel like they really answered the question because, if you don't know how the bills are being paid and where they get paid to and how the money coming in outside,
Girl, she whole lying. I don't believe that. I don't believe that at all, because if she didn't know how the bills was getting paid, she would still keep her job at being a professor. She knows enough to know something. And I don't believe that I don't believe that. I think she was trying to flex on them girls and saying that I don't even pay the bills. I don't even know who owned the mortgage. I don't believe that at all. I don't. I truly do not believe that, especially for them to have all them damn credit cards and debit cards and stuff like that. And she can't. I don't believe that Happy Eddie is doing this all by himself. I don't believe that, because if she was a person, I would say that, she prides herself on having all these dang on degrees. To me, that type of woman is not going to sit back and let somebody control every facet of their finances. I don't believe that. I think she did that just to floss on the other ladies when she said it. And
I can understand why you. You gave great points about why you say that. But what I tend to go to with all that in consideration, because I agree with you about the presentation that she gives us, right? About the smarts that we even presume that 5 degrees obtains you, right? Like you
and a doctorate,
like an airhead with 5, doctorates, right? So I understand that, but then I'm thinking about people who live in these very confines of marriage, and especially when culture, and especially like having the balance of your man being the head of the house, whether that's presented on the outside. I'm understanding that sometimes something different can be going on the inside. So my point really is that I felt that her explanation like I said, it kind of gave me Teresa and Joe, which would be like, it's possible you could have given this guy, your husband, because I don't see anything wrong with somebody.
Yeah, but to be that
Hold on.
driven,
You could have
I mean,
given.
what kind of degrees does Teresa Judice have? Was
No,
she a
she
professor?
doesn't. But
Okay.
the only reason why I'm comparing those two
Mhm.
is just because of the situation they both found themselves in the sense of your husband is going kind of creating these things. So even when we get down to the actual charges, I'm thinking like, huh, I could see Eddie kind of telling her, like, I could see her in a sense going along with this, and again, I understand smarts. I think we gotta, I think maybe I'm kind of siding too much with a victim type of thing, but I'm saying like I kind of think it is very adjacent to, even though it's not the same level of abuse, but financial abuse is financial abuse. Like she could find herself in that way if she's given up that type of power to him. Clearly, However, it could be a ploy also, because I think today we know that they have the cases separated, right?
Mhm.
So so with that being said, because I went back and watched today, because that was my first thought, but like you going, kind of piggybacking, because it could go either way. I don't know this lady, so I can't say if she is or not. But in the court of law, or law, what we say, yeah, in the court of law, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove.
True.
And so what I'm saying is that explanation she gives, that could make decent enough sense. You know what I mean? And if maybe they agreed, Eddie take the rap, then he take the rap. Maybe
Okay.
now looking back on it today, now that we know that those cases have been separated, that makes more sense. Because going back to Joe and Teresa, right? That I don't know. You say you didn't know about their situation, but it's a similar type of thing. I think they had like tax issues or something like that.
Mhm.
And bankruptcy. That's what it was. It was something about they lied about their bankruptcy or something. And so that's how he ended up with 3 years. Teresa ended up with one. But that they separate. So I'm saying, yeah, it's a good defense, because somebody got to be home, and
But the kids, I understand that too.
about that, you know what I mean? And so that's what I like. I can go along with that, because and going back, so maybe they took a play out of that, because to your point, when it came to Teresa and Joe, it's very much more likely that Teresa's just signing away, and you know what I mean, and like you said, not having. But I'm going back even with her, because there's other people who in her cult, that are from Jersey, that wouldn't be that way, very independent, and always have been married or not. But I do think the Italian, she got that family thing. They lean into it. You get blind, and now you've been taken advantage of by your husband.
But the email that he sent to her,
Well, yeah, like, mm,
so yeah, somebody got to be home with the kids. But Wendy, I don't believe not for one damn minute, because if for a person to hold as many degrees and a doctorate and to be on this show, my first introduction to Wendy, I say, was on Roland Martin, then on MSNBC. Okay, so I met her as a political analyst. So a person to me that is that strong will and that knowledgeable, I just cannot see her just going, okay, I got all this going on, but I'm gonna let you handle my contract at Bravo, because you don't know about the.
so I don't think the two things
But if he's over all the monies, he
are
don't, because she said she don't know how the money go. That's what she said.
so it's not, so that doesn't mean that she's allowing him to handle her contracts. What I
But
am
I'm talking about, he might as well, he's handling all the finances.
but
So he's there,
but
because if she
see,
gets the
I
money,
don't think so. I'm going into a sense of, even being smart people will hire other people to do things. So no, she don't have Eddie working as her manager or her husband or
but
in
he's
that
her
type
attorney.
of thing. I'm not saying it in that way, but what I am saying is, as a household function, I could understand her giving him that type of leeway about being even though your money, because if whatever he's doing is your money. You know what I thought to in my head, and I hate to throw Eddie under the bus like this because he's I don't have any reason outside of outside of this situation and me just, coming up with these thoughts. But when I thought to myself, I said, I wonder, she been thinking he a lawyer and he work. I wonder if her money been filtering in and everything they've been doing, he's somehow kind of like how about Ponzi schemes or whatever, but he's somehow been using her money to filter it in without her recognizing, because you're having access to whatever it is you feel like. If it add up. You know what I mean? Like, so if you feel like you able to get whatever and everything is happening, when you want to remodel, you able to, when you want to move, you do it, whatever. But this guy could be not being what you thought he would. I mean, and to me, it's like, well, clearly something, you know what I mean? Why else would a person even commit insurance fraud? To get some money.
Because they're in debt, yeah.
Yeah, right. Yeah, to get some money. Yeah, so so that's kind of, and
I think she already knew.
Crime shows, I know. Like,
I think she already knew.
I don't have no reason to think that Eddie is that type, but that's the deal with these shows. It be the people you don't really think, you know what I mean? And so, it's just all a possibility. So, hey, I thought Wendy, I thought it was interesting the way that she presented. Yeah,
I definitely, if I was her, because I know Eddie kept pressing, but I would have been, look, this is an ongoing litigation.
Everybody else does it now, and I'll give you for doing it, but everybody else does it. And generally, I think all of us would agree, I've never been through this thing like that on that type of scale, but we all agree that it probably is the smartest thing, because so they are watching, and you know what I mean, and they can use whatever you say against you,
exactly. So honey, it would have been mum's the word. That's what it would have been with me. But that and just the whole Chris of it all.
They just keep, like I said, but it just keep helping Stacey rise to the top.
My thing too with the whole cease and desist, he sent that to Monique, because Monique, you got a whole fucking book out there, lady, and you're on TV. He don't want you out here. You already said in the book he was knocking you upside the head.
See, and that's funny how I forgot about that, but you're right. You're right. That is it. Yeah. Forgot about that. Yeah.
So she comes on here with her earthly self, and I'm like, God. I kind of did without the Dorito lady. I'm gonna call her the Dorito lady.
People are like that, like how it's like their Mother Earth, and it's like, but you just raising all and hell everywhere you go.
I just was like, oh God. So like I said, I only could tolerate it like a 1.5 times, and I just thought the air that the Grand Dame came in with. Honey, she was sitting on her pedestal and looking down low at the other ladies. And I'm like, why in the hell they are not questioning her about the things they wanted to question her about last year, So I don't know. I was wanting them to press her a little harder, and I just felt like, yes, we could have got this in an email.
Yeah, well, we could have wrapped that up. 2 parts at minimum. It definitely didn't need 3.
We could have did 1 hour and 45 minutes. Oh, really, 1 hour and 15 minutes, to be honest. I didn't really see a need for Karen to come back on the stage. I didn't. No, and this the air that she came in there with, and the excuse that she gave for why she's mad. What do you think about that? The excuse she gave for why she's mad at Wendy.
I thought it was reaching, you know, and I just thought it was reaching. Yeah, because how you going through that, and then you can, it just felt reaching. In the midst of that, you sitting up harboring that. You know what I mean? Like, okay, girl.
Okay, so
You just want to have a problem with her. It feels indicative of always wanting to have a problem with her.
Yeah, I don't know. And then, but one thing I did notice though, did you see how when Karen sat down and how basically Stacey kissed the ring? Because Stacey was sitting there and she came in, Karen was like, "Did you lie again?" And all the way she was talking, and then Stacey was, I was like, "What?"
Yeah, I dismissed that because I thought, again, how are you coming in questioning anybody?
Because I would have been like, "Didn't you just get
you were here last year? Like, why? And how are you talking about anything that even went down last year? Like,
you didn't even come because then you lie with your wig all the way back here,
right? Yeah.
When you gonna be vindicated? Where's the vindication, honey?
You know, I'm glad we did our Housewives Awards. I think we got it right. I'll be looking forward to getting ready to get us the Married to Medicine Housewives Awards going so we can start voting on that so we can get ready for their reunion and seeing how their season is going to fare and what we think about what they're doing on here. So yeah, I'm done with Real Housewives of Potomac, honey. Good luck. Good luck.
Girl. So this episode right here, we got the 5 love languages.
Yes, the 5 love languages.
Girl, let me put this right here, girl. But Eugene pissed me off through this thing here. I ain't gonna lie. So I got this dedicated to him. Here we go.
There's another way, Peter.
You don't get involved in the women business.
You know there's another way.
Peter need to stay out of women business, honey. Turn into old shit.
Okay.
So Eugene needs to stay out of women business. Okay. He's turning into an old chick. And I just like, when I watched it, I'm like, damn, he really wants to have her come, because I feel like Toya and Heavenly are two of the same type of people. They're the same person. Heavenly may be a little bit more in your face with it, but they are the same type of person. And he's down for his wife, but when she do the fuck shit she do, he sit there and just, I'd rather, him not say nothing or want to get into shit like Damon. Damon sit back. We know this is a TV show. We know our wives got to entertain. Why are you all in your feelings? I just don't understand that.
Well, here's how I see it. I don't think he's in women business per se. The only reason why I would say that is because when Heavenly attacks Toya, she uses Eugene. And I think that Eugene, I feel like without him having the right words, basically that's what he's trying to get Damon to say. Like, that's why he wants Damon to maybe say something or get involved, because if it's them two going back and forth and they just going back and forth and it ain't
she didn't use Eugene on this trip.
I'm not saying that she did. I'm saying I think that is just the predicate, like it's already a problem. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So this is what he's talking about. And so at this point, now that we're here at this like it's just a pile on, right? Because now you won't let her, you won't let her run the thing.
She can't. That's why Dr. Jackie came to the room.
Well, listen. I get it. I'm not saying that she can, but what I am saying is that Heavenly is being antagonizing, and she is. Now, she hasn't called out anything specifically towards Eugene. I wouldn't say not that it's not coming, but I'm backing Eugene up to say, I know why he wants Damon to say something. And that's really what it's about. Is
to
that
say what? Because he
I
said he's
think
tired of people lying on his wife and disrespecting her.
Mm-hmm.
Heavenly said that whatever the first they asked for the $1,000 and they couldn't give it.
Mm-hmm.
He said they gave the wine, which basically she was like an Avon sales lady or whatever. So you gave what you already had. Didn't do anything extra. But now you want everybody to come give
which
their
is
money.
why I said that. And see, that's why, well, again, like you said, maybe it's a show. Maybe nobody wants to settle it so quickly. You know what I mean? Like in that way, I guess. But yeah, appropriately, same as what. So it ain't what you do, it's how you do it. If Heavenly could just really say, because in a nutshell, that's what she's expecting, is what I said last week, was that Toya really should have come to take on this thing, and you should have made it whole by giving what it is they feel like. You know what I'm saying? What it ain't even a feel like what you didn't put in. No, like you come back saying you understand the work and that. So that's how you show improve, But I'm also thinking, well, we here now, like, why? It's kind of like to cut your nose to spite your face. Like it feels like nasty work. And the same way I took up for Heavenly about the way they didn't support the campaign is the kind of the same way I feel on this end. Like, this is all y'all thing, supposedly, right? You didn't put her at the forefront as a joke or whatever, but now we here, so y'all just gonna, let the shit go. And who's gonna take anything serious after that? You know what I mean? Like, for real. So,
well, that's what Dr. Damon said. Shit, it's in a couple days. Is you gonna give the money or what? No, it's so bad. Got Curtis over there asking for money from the men. He said, I ain't giving shit. He's like, they ain't told my wife nothing. And Brandy said it too. Hell, y'all ain't said nothing. Y'all didn't include me on it. And from what they were saying,
I can understand Brandy and the other one, Angel, feeling that way. Yeah, I can understand that from them. But I feel like they should just, and they should have said that to Toya coming in. Like, so here's the deal. It kind of is not even a Heavenly and Toya thing. It really should be a Jackie thing, because if Jackie is the one that put her in charge, like, what was the expectation that Jackie had? You know what I mean?
Yeah, to teach her a lesson. This is a hard lesson learned.
Well, I mean, right, but at the expense of the entire event, that sounds silly. That sounds immature for 6 women to decide that. That's crazy. All of y'all agree that you would sacrifice this.
Well, because they why she came to Dr. Heavenly is because money bags. Like Dr. Mimi said, who got the biggest bank over there? She believes is Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Damon. Last time, either it was Dr. Heavenly and Dr. Jackie. They both came together and put up $20,000 to secure everything. And then whatever they got back at the end of it, they got the money back. I guess the whole thing is probably more than likely the reason why they need the money so bad is because Toya probably ain't gonna put up nothing.
That's why I'm going back to, why would anybody be surprised if she didn't put up nothing the first 2 years? So that's why it's like, well, if there is a problem in the group and you got a problem with who at the front and what it is she bringing to the table, then why don't you check back with the person who put her there?
Yes, because what Quad said, the people ain't trusting Toya with the money.
Yeah, who put her there though? You know what I mean?
So that's what Dr. Heavenly said. Don't ever do that again.
What did Jackie? What expectation did she actually really have? And how is it that you didn't prepare? Like it. So I can understand Eugene feeling bad about that. Now, like you said, maybe there's a way that you don't go so hard. But I think it's kind of like the Will Smith thing. They tired of being the butt of the joke. Like you literally sabotaging my wife. Like, that's crazy. And I'm sitting here watching it.
Because she was sabotaging it before. I think the problem is if she didn't have so much mouth, even though she didn't want to contribute, but I think the problem was from what we get from the listening to the Patreon that she had so much mouth about what she wasn't gonna do or how they needed to do it, and that's the issue that the other women had. Because you can even see where Dr. Simone even sides with them about how Toya is with this Met Gala. So I believe had she just said, "No, I'm not gonna put no money in it," fine. But then to come with all the smoke that she did, and remember that one year they did the Met Gala when it was Sweet Tea there with Dr. G, and Quad came to give him wanted to hug on his neck. That one when Dr. Heavenly took that microphone from Dr. Eugene. Because they were trying, and then she was like, "Hell no," because she didn't put no money in, but you were trying to take like y'all actually did something when you gave this wine that you already had. So I think that's the pushback they're having with Toya, and that's why. But as we, so I just feel when he wanted to have the conversation with Damon was like, he not here for the negativity. He already know how his wife is. He already know what it is. And for him to be so upset, and I just say Toya does the same motherfucking fuck shit to me. I feel like she's just like Heavenly, not as loud and boisterous, but she does her shit. I mean, it's good TV. I'm not saying it ain't good TV. I like watching it, but she's the same kind of person Heavenly is. And his thing is not only is he out loud with it, he backs it out loud. Because we're never apologizing for giving that wine. We're never. Well, she's saying how important it is. Because what if one of them said, "Okay, we're not going to give the $2,000, but we're going to give you all the napkins in the world." How's that helping? So that's what I'm saying. I see that she understands now because she said whoever has it next, she's going to participate.
Yeah, true. But I agree. Like it's a little too late. She should be willing and ready to give it on this one.
Yeah.
I do agree with Heavenly and anybody else in that sentiment.
So we're going to start out with, so we got that all brewing with, Eugene and feeling the way about Dr. Heavenly. So we have Angel on the phone with her friend was Bernard. He's letting her know that he's going to make it to Jamaica. And we also have, we already talked about all that, Eugene and Toya and everything. So then we come up to the couple's dinner. So at the couple's dinner, we got Brandy explaining why her husband, Shamar, hasn't made it there yet. And I thought all that he went through, he only got a chance to be there a couple hours. Poor guy.
I thought that was, I don't know. I just thought that was a lot.
Well, I think he probably planned to be there a day. They said his flight was delayed. So, and like I said, it had to be around that time where they were having trouble with the air.
I don't even know if it was worth a day. Like even the day thing just felt, something about that just felt so forced. I guess clearly it was, in their world, but I didn't necessarily see it as this sweet gesture. I thought it was a waste of time.
He's trying to help his wife stay on the show.
I'm just saying. I didn't see it.
They said they ain't got a babysitter, and he had to do his shift, and then he gonna come back when she come back. So he was supposed to got here a little bit earlier. So
if she was going back to those kids to go to school, I think that she just, I don't think it was worth him coming. That, like I said, I didn't see it as a sweet gesture. I just didn't.
You thought it was sweet that he came?
No, again, I thought maybe the sentiment is sweet, but the actual action of like that, Yeah, no, it was a waste of time.
Yeah, but when originally he was supposed to be there a day.
Even a day is a waste of time. Like even a day is to me, because now, first of all, let's all agree. I agree with Cecil. They should nix this whole couples trip deal, because at the moment that Angel is on the phone and Bernard finna come make this, pop up, I'm thinking, well, is that appropriate? Because y'all just talking. It's not like y'all just on this. I thought it was like this retreat, you know what I mean, type of deal. So you on vacation, but I don't know if that type of vacation is open for the randos. You know what I mean? Like I don't like it. It was giving some other type of vibe. It's not even your boyfriend. Like I don't know. I thought that was just weird. I did, and I didn't know. I don't know. I thought it was weird. And same with Brandy's husband. I thought that was weird. It reminded me. I wonder why Contessa felt the need to go so hard at that birthday dinner, because I wonder if Contessa felt like, and I think we might have said that that Brandy was trying to one up her in some way. Or if she's trying to, like, sometimes people do a lot to try to prove, I don't know, the love between them. And I think the more that you do that, the less I believe it. I can't, it's kind of like, because who you trying to convince? That's what I mean. Like, that all of what he went through just didn't feel that there was anything worth it. Even if you, like a quickie, when you got there, y'all had to hurry up. No, none of that was worth it. None of that was worth it. None of it.
It might have been worth it to him.
I mean, coming back in 12 hours, like, no, she just left you 12 hours ago. Like, no, I'm not buying it. I think maybe she's trying to get ahead of the game about whatever anybody would have to say about the absence of her husband. Same like why she was over-explaining why he wasn't there. And also kind of made it this deal. Maybe it's because my kids are older now and I can just feel in a certain way, or maybe it is because I'm not in that place anymore. It's not that I don't remember what it was like to have smaller children, but don't get mad at me because I'm not in that place no more.
Did nobody tell you to hang around all these old bitches?
I mean, right. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so it just, like, it was kind of like you kind of turned it around, like, they really just didn't understand. And it's like, do you see who you with? Like,
yeah, you hanging with these ladies in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, honey.
And if it was, and it's so important to you to be there their first day of school, then do that. I don't think anybody there would give you any objection about it. Again, I've been a mom, that would be fine. But am I going to, go any further with it? No, I'm not. So that's how I feel about the man coming. I feel like maybe she's trying to get ahead of the game. She don't want the people talking about the husband being absent and, coming up with all of this stuff. And it's just falling flat for me. And it's kind of looking bad for me. Mm-hmm.
And when poor little Bernard got there, when Bernard
thought he was coming to pick it. He ain't thought he was coming with a group of couples. That right.
He knew. I mean, God, dog. She said she told him.
Okay. I'll give Angel some credit. Clearly, she probably because he's on film. You know what I mean? He's signing the release. Clearly, she gave him some sort of synopsis about what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm still saying the fact that y'all even was discussing him coming just feel like he thought he was coming there to kick it, because that wasn't appropriate in the first place. Like, y'all not, when he showed up, did they look like they was in the space where he should be popping up on her?
No.
Okay.
He looked like he came with my case. he came with an attitude. And I'm like, what the hell is this all about? And I don't know. Maybe well, Angel had to be there because Toya had to be messy. So I don't know if I would have probably brought my other good girlfriend with me.
If anything, or you just go ahead and suck it up the way Quad has done, so many times, but that's what I mean. Like it just felt out of place.
So
I
we
can't
had
see him coming in to it because even if he had, didn't understand once he got there, now you, and then that's the other thing. As soon as he got there, you go shoo him off to these strangers. That's what I'm like. You don't even know this man, but now you want these people to get to know him
because they thought he was the help. But back to the dinner, we got the. So we're at the dinner, and Toya decides to do an icebreaker so people can get to know each other. So she's going to do the love languages. She said, hers is acts of service. I'm like, of course. Acts of service, and Eugene's is words of affirmation. They was like, what kind of words of affirmation is Toya giving you?
Cecil, he gonna have a hard time with that.
Look, put the biscuit in your mouth. Shut up and eat the biscuit. Girl, I'm like, Toya, okay, really.
Funny. That's funny.
So Cecil, so she goes, so they do go around the table and ask everyone. And Cecil and Simone just like basically fuck the shit. He told me to eat the food,
Mm-hmm. Reminded me my food came.
That's what he did for me today.
That's my love language. Feeding me is my love language. It really is.
And everybody was like, oh, he doesn't know her love language. And I'm thinking to myself, do I know my husband's love language? Words of affirmation. Get out my way. Bye. Move. See ya. Get on your side of the bed. Acts of service. I done brought you some dinner, honey. Right. Your food on the stove.
Right.
Go eat it.
But I think a difference might be kind of like, in the difference is like something that doesn't feel like a chore. So like a person who maybe you not just cook, but you fix his plate. Like I think that would be the difference. You know what I mean? I guess,
Well, he probably my husband more acts of service, I tell you that. So so then Quad says she needs to be affirmed.
Okay. You be careful getting home.
Quad says she needs to be affirmed, and King says he likes active services and quality time, unless they are mad and they stay at separate places. And Dr. Contessa says something going on over there. He said something's going on because they don't seem like they're quite right. She, my man, and he ain't my girl. So something going on over there. So then they asked Dr. Heavenly. She said physical touch. And honey, she was bragging that she got physically touched that morning. Curtis said physical touch too. Dr. Mimi says she needs words of affirmation. And then Steve was like, baby, you look good in that outfit, and I can't wait to take it off of you. So he was laying it on thick. So what do you think about Steve and his words of affirmation to Dr. Mimi?
I think, I like Steve and Mimi. I think sometimes they can be a little
performative.
Yeah. But Jordan down, Mookie. But whatever. I feel like the one that stuck out to me was Curtis and Jackie. Mm-hmm. Because Curtis has been missing a lot this season. Mm-hmm. And we all, I don't want to be dragging Jackie's marriage down, but when he said that it was physical touch for him, and then she kind of said, well, she
deficit,
and I'm thinking, well, we know what happened the last time, he showed up late. And see, the way that he came to the trip for me is different than the way Brandy's husband, and even, of course, the guy Bernard. But yeah, I could understand you having something and you having to come in a little bit behind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know that one, like I said, even at the day, because when you think about, well, I do anyway. When you think about traveling, you at least you don't expect delays, but you put that in your mind.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, why would I want to go all the way, to Jamaica for a day? Like that doesn't. If at anything, it would have had to been a plan to be there overnight. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if the delays happened, then it would have made getting there worthwhile because I'm spending the night. You know what I mean? Like, so now I got to leave back the next day. Fine, but anyway. So back to Curtis, but they stuck out to me in that sense. And then Quad and King, I guess, because I kind of just got my eye on them so much more that I'm, because I've already said that I think they actually broke up at that conversation, or maybe that was the beginning of the breakup for sure.
Yeah,
definitely. I think we watch. We might be watching the actual breakup in real time, and that's the reason why it kind of came out the way it did. Also outside of them wanting their own privacy. Those are the two that stuck out for me.
Okay, so we're on to the next conversation. And so the next conversation is going to be Mimi versus Toya.
Mm-hmm.
Toya asked Mimi how was her stay. Well, I'm glad it's nice because from what I understand, you didn't feel safe around me.
Mm-hmm.
And Mimi is like, no, that's not the way I meant it. I wanted to know what kind of friend you were. And Dr. Simone was like, no, I said it the way you said it because of the interaction that you have had with her. You wanted to know what kind of, are you safe to be, in a safe place with her or whatever. So, it was a word salad and everything. And then Dr. Eugene says, in order to get to know someone, you have to be around them, But I thought Toya definitely went off on her for the wrong reasons, So, Toya is never going to take accountability on that, So, what did you feel about that whole?
What I would give you is Toya is being a terrible host. It reminds me of when Heavenly hosted the
couples.
Yeah, and then you attack all the couples. Like that's kind of what it feels like here.
Because I'm a love expert.
Right. She just called him out to the carpet and pulled all these. Like, is this like? Are we going back to the room to fight? Or did but this is what that's given to me with Toya. So again, I can be fair because again, I don't know these people, so I can call everybody out about what they're doing. And I really don't. I think Simone had been my favorite, but I'm saying I really don't have a particular favorite, on Married to Medicine. But so I think Toya's being a horrible host because I didn't think that was appropriate. And even if you wanted to ask and figure out something, I think that was something you could have did away from while it was only women there, or you know what I mean? What in a different setting, not while y'all all trying to break the ice, honey. That's one way to do it.
So then we have her being a horrible host again,
right? Because that's what I
really want to do
into with. Then you pull, Angel,
which was stupid. Right. The whole explanation of this, but they're playing a game, red flag, green flag, okay? And she talks about, basically not speaking or doing the quiet treatment or whatever, and also the hall pass. I was like, okay, Toya, whatever. So then we go over. She started talking about the people use boundaries as an excuse, not to grow. And it was like, okay, that would be a red flag. And then it was like, someone asked, was it Dr. Contessa, I think? Can we get an example? And she uses Angel situation.
I didn't understand where that.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
She said, I don't want to do it. Oh, I can't do it. Do it, Heavenly says.
Mm-hmm.
And here we go.
Mm-hmm.
You sat there and thought just because this woman that you may introduce her to someone, that she's supposed to stop her whole dating life, and then tell the man in his face that she told you to introduce her to someone. And Angel makes it, no, bitch. I can get my own man. I was just being nice. She said, but I done been married, I done been engaged before. And I ain't got no problem in that dang on area. And Toya go, you just knew though. No, knew for what? They ain't got nothing to do with it. She said, well, in my 20s, I had girl code, but now I'm a grown ass woman. And just because you want to see this person and still want me to hook you up, no, I'm not with that shit. So I'm like, okay, Toya.
I have a two-parter. On one end, I understand where Toya was coming from. Again, it's just inappropriate the way that you pull out stuff, So number one, what she did at that table with that guy was absolutely wrong, and none of the explanations she had for it warranted that, because that just shouldn't have happened. But you having a conversation with Angel to say, hey, like, if you ask, like, I can understand if somebody came to me and said that, like, I had a good friend of mine and said, oh, I'll give you an example. I do have, like a...
But the key word, good friend.
Well, I'm not
I think Angel was not even expecting it.
But let's just say, like, my son, my friend's son, right? I think he's a good catch for somebody. Okay. So with that being said, it wouldn't be that I would introduce him to just any old person because they're single, right? There is a way to move when you're single, depending on what it is you're trying to get. So if you are someone wanting a relationship and to be married, I think Toya, and maybe it does come with age, but I think I was like this when I was young anyway. But like I kind of say, I date with intention, in the sense of I date like a process of elimination. So there's not necessarily this overlap of me talking to this guy, dating this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, in this whole, I don't have a rotation of guys. However, there's a small period of my single life where I did, because at the time I was just dating to have fun. I wasn't really trying to be in a relationship with anybody. You know what I mean? So at the point in which I feel like I want an actual relationship, it doesn't make sense to me to date in that manner, because I don't know how you falter that something to go somewhere if you're giving out that type of energy to these multiple people. I don't know. It don't work that way for me. But
who's to say Angel was even like the guy? She hadn't even met the man yet.
Now that is true, but that's the reason.
Might look like Dr. Eugene.
Like Angel, like if Toya really felt it, like I said, the first thing is this: she was just wrong at the point in which you had something to say about that in front of that man. That's period. The end. Now, whatever else, like, because everything that came after that is all you trying to explain, like, excuse. So it's, to your point, I think she just used her own self as an example without using herself, because she's the one that has the boundary of, I don't want to introduce my friends, you know what I'm saying, to people who not serious about them. And you took it on to, put it out there. So that's what, and excuse me. You're using that as an excuse for why you know what I mean, threw her under the bus with this guy. And so I'm saying, like, that was wrong. And really, there is no other discussion that really needs to take place after that. You know what I'm saying? Because that was just wrong. And it doesn't matter.
Asked, how was she in bed?
Well, it was all wrong. That's what I'm saying. Everything she did there was wrong.
But Eugene said, Toy, you didn't tell me all that.
Right. Because it was wrong. Like, yeah. And so, like I said, now, as far as like getting to a point where you were seriously Because who knew? Like, if you hadn't gave her no number, like it was all in this realm of possibility. You know, nothing happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like you had gave the girl your number. It ain't like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. But I'm just saying, I could understand that her saying like, hey, well, don't come and ask me about hooking up nobody up. But again, that's a conversation that should have been done in a private way. That you know what I'm saying? Like, just to get clarification. Like, yeah, I do got somebody. He looking, you know, he'll be good catch. He might want to get married, but I don't want to, you know, introduce him to you if you still, you know, kind of playing the field, because, you know, whatever, you know what I'm saying? And but again, that should have been private. She was there wrong. And like I just pointed out, she was the person who used the boundary as an excuse to get out of something. She did that. Mm-hmm.
Girl, tacky Toya.
Yeah, and that's why we didn't understand it when she put. Well, I guess maybe she did understand it. She just wanted to blame Angel, because it's interesting that she went to that. So it's like you did understand what happened there. You just blamed Angel.
And then the next day, how she said, because Angel won't let it go. I'm like, you
right?
brought it up.
Yeah. Right. That's what I mean. Like, you understood what happened.
So, yeah, because she said, you know, that's kitty shit. And just basically saying, you know.
It was almost like she was trying to call Angel out like she was being a hoe.
Exactly.
You know? And like I said, maybe it is like, I wouldn't call it kitty shit, but I would, like I said, if you're playing the field, dating, I don't see anything wrong with it. Like, I don't think you are a hoe or anything, you know, of the sort. Play the field. But if you are wanting to actually have something of substance, then I do think you gotta clear the noise. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can date everybody, but you can't date everybody at the same time. Right?
Yeah, because I mean, shit. I don't even know. We don't even know what the man that Toya is even thinking about. We don't even know what he look like.
Right.
And if he's Eugene's friend, does he have Eugene qualities? Is he like Eugene? I mean, is he a sucker for love?
I mean, that might be what she would want. Like, you know, it's interesting. That's interesting. That
I don't want a man I can run over now. I don't want that.
Well, interesting that you will say that, because I agree. I don't want a man I can run over, but I don't know what it is. Why is it that Eugene would actually present to you as somebody you could run over? Because here's what I mean when I say I don't want a husband I can run over. I don't presume that I would want to run over my husband. So I'm saying I want a guy who could be soft with me. I don't need him. I think Toya is the same. You know, like, if I don't know. Like, it's like this macho.
I think she runs over him because the way she talks to him in public.
For sure.
I would never do that.
That's a Toya problem. That don't have anything to do with Eugene. Because that's what I mean. Like, why would you even...
He allows it.
He allows it because he doesn't leave her. But so that aside, he love her. He's sticking around. He gonna stick beside her. So with that being said, she is responsible for how she moves. And so
exactly, he's just responsible for why he lets her do it. There's a certain way he don't have to leave her, but she needs to know
that her as a person. Why, if you see this stuff back, why would you even want to speak to your husband that way?
No,
like, that should be a clear problem. You see what I mean? Like, that should be a problem for her, not just him. Because I get what you're saying. And that's what I mean. Like, well, he love her, he's sticking beside her. You know, that's why Heavenly say, well, he must like it. Well, that's not cool, because I think we can all agree nobody would like the way, you know what I'm saying, she talked to him. But I'm trying to figure out, like, if this guy is sticking around and he's still being good to you, he not bopping you upside your head, he not talking to you crazy, because that would be different if, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was that type of thing where he was talking crazy and she talking crazy back. So I'm saying, why don't you view yourself as the problem in that? Because, why would I want to talk to somebody who treats me so well that way? That's crazy, don't you think?
Yeah, I think it's it's beyond crazy. Yes, you got the man over there working day and night, and then you want to tell the man eat a biscuit and all that kind of.
The only way I'm gonna talk to somebody like that man is sending me through hell. Okay.
And not only that, it would be, first of all, I just would never, even if it was, I just would not do that on TV. I wouldn't do it. I don't do public embarrassment. So I want to treat you the way I want you to treat me. So I'm not gonna sit here and disrespect you in any kind of way. I'm not going to give them fodder so they can talk about our situation and or what is or what they think or whatever. I'm not going to give you that. So whatever we saying behind closed doors is closed doors, but I'm not going to, I don't care how the hell I may feel. I might say it in private, shut up and eat a biscuit, but I'm never going to say that and disrespect you in public. I just would not. I especially a man that, from all appearances, it seems that he loves her stinking ass draws.
Right.
So I don't know.
And that's my point. That's, like, again, I look at everything twofold, and probably because of some of what I've been through with my relationship, in a sense, because I think I put up with a lot that I probably, I should not have. And there is some self-accountability that has to take place with that, right? When somebody not talking to you properly, you know what I'm saying, not treating you right, like you do have to take in an account for why did I stay, put up with that. The other part, though, is I don't let nobody off the hook for your behavior, though, like, because like if I'm too nice, if I didn't have, you know what I mean, like the strength that I needed, that still don't give you the position, like to take advantage. Like you still dog wrong, you know what I mean, like that. And that's just the bottom. So that's where I'm saying that with her is like, no, there's a problem with you in the way that you don't honor. I mean, maybe you say you do, but I don't think that it shows up the way that I would view honor. Like I said, why would I talk to somebody who treated me that way? Why would I talk to him that way? That's crazy. I wouldn't. I wouldn't. And that's me in general. Like I'm a Gemini, and listen, it's up to you what you get. I'm always kind, and so I'm like you. My rule of thumb is I'm gonna treat everybody how I want to be treated. I don't care who you are from the top to the bottom, like it's like I show everybody kindness. Because I understand we are going through something. Like but there's this, there is a side, and so and they had to get there, like, and so it's like, hey, I give you what you give me. Now, don't play with my intelligence, and then don't, like, if you give me the energy, then I kind of might respond with it. That's all. So it's up to you what you get. But no, for the most part, I'm never going to talk to somebody crazy as long as you're not talking to me crazy.
Yeah, I'm not either. So as we move past that,
Toya's wrong.
Toya goes, my husband wants me to be nice. Because before we get to that part, when she was during all these explanations or whatever, that's when Dr. Heavenly interjects and says, this bitch is fucked up. She said, Toya is full of shit. And so then Toya goes, my husband wants me to be nice. Then Dr. Jackie says, hey, ladies, we need to talk about the Met Gala. So the guys all go over to, area with the guys. So the women, they get ready to talk about the Met Gala. And Dr. Heavenly in her confessional says, Toya has got on her last nerve with this Met Gala, and she is ready to unload on her. So Dr. Heavenly also said that that Toya is running it into the ground. Brandy says basically she ain't, that nobody asked her for her opinion, so she's not going to donate. And we find out they don't have a venue, they don't have the food secure and all those kind of things. And Dr. Contessa says, is it the expectation that we're all supposed to donate? And Dr. Jackie says yes. Dr. Heavenly says no. Where you want to go right there?
You can start. I mean, I feel like we kind of did discuss that.
Already.
Nothing else to say.
Quad says the people don't trust her with the money. You know, so the shots got fired. They're going back and forth. Toya tells Heavenly, shut the fuck up. What is his name? Dr. Eugene comes over and said, hey, Toya, we need a timeout. Let's go. She's the only person that's not, you know, basically disagreeing or whatever. It's Heavenly. She said, no, we need to go. She was like, you know, basically, no, I'm going to stay. So he left, man. So they continue to talk. And, you know, they end up, you know, they talked and then the cat got on the dang on food. Mm-hmm. Toya and Quad fell and they end up with a laughing moment. So I thought, wow, but excuse me. He goes back, but I don't know if it was before or after when he was talking to King and said basically if one of his subordinates or whatever, the doctors that he's over would say bullshit or whatever, he would ask them to leave. And I thought, well, ding, 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 ding. They're not Toya's subordinates. You know, this is a whole different situation. It's not a work situation. Mm-hmm. So they're not going to, Toya's not going to get that.
Well, I think what he probably just want to reiterate is, even though they're not her subordinates, and you're right, they obviously are not, but just being professional, trying to put together something, you know, it's kind of like, y'all not getting nowhere, you know. And it's interesting that you, like she said, well, she done got on her nerves with this Met Gala. I feel like outside of this money, is that the only issue? And more than likely, probably so, because you just pay whatever vendors come to do whatever it is you tell them to do. But again, it feels like there's some lack of communication, because what is it that y'all plan? Like, what is it that y'all expected from this lady who didn't pay y'all 2 years prior? Like, this feels like a ploy, you know? And so I'm just not, I don't know. I'm feeling indifferent about it because I don't understand why we're here. You know, it's like the girl didn't participate in the other two. So I'm not understanding how she got to the position that she is. Jackie said she thought it would be a good idea for her. But again, what is the expectation? And it sounds like you didn't give it to her because she's still looking for everybody else but her to pay. So where did that come from? That it's funny that we talk about this, about Jackie just kind of doing like little sly stuff and kind of getting through. But this is, for me, one of those things, because this is all Jackie's doing. Toya had, if I was giving Toya props for at least taking them and legalizing the thing, and I'm thinking, well, I think that's a decent contribution. Not to say nobody else is smart enough to get it done. The fact that nobody did it would just say that you benefited off of her getting it. That's just that, you know, on that. Because if you could have got it done, I guess you would have. You know.
But did she?
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that I'm kind of confused about what the problem is. Is it just the money? Is it?
I think the problem is that Jackie came back and told Dr. Heavenly all the shit.
So go back to that's what I mean. But nobody is really confronting Jackie. Just, you know, you're pushing it all on Toya, and it does. Like at a certain point, it looks like a pile up, even if you have reason to, you know, like, but it feels like a sabotage. It looks like a, you know what I mean, like a setup. And it's not a good look with middle-aged women that's trying to be successful. I mean, this looked like something for Zeus, like a plot that Zeus designed. But I don't know why we watching these grown ass women sabotage another woman at the expense of your own foundation to make a point. It's Kenya and her salon all over again.
Okay. Well, they have a few days to get this thing together. That's what we find out. So,
well, do we see any previews of it getting together? I think they do have it, don't they? I don't know.
They do have it.
Okay.
I've seen videos of it because it's supposed to be what theme living art. I've seen the lives they did or whatever, and all the videos they put up or whatever. So it looks like it look nice. But yeah. I don't know. This whole thing, I guess, like I said, it was supposed to be a lesson that they were supposed to teach her. But I wonder, because we know Toya is not no meek and mild lady. So I wonder if when Dr. Heavenly said that Jackie said that Toya was very unprofessional and hard to work with, at the scrub shoot, was this all after the during this Met Gala thing? Because evidently something got Dr. Jackie up in arms with Toya, and I think Toya is like she is now. So I do think that because evidently, from what it sounded like, that Toya didn't want to tell the ladies where their money was going to go. It just wanted them just to give the money. And I think that was the problem that Brandy had with it.
Well, that's the problem anybody should have. That that we don't even have, I think, because it can't. Why is that not being said? And maybe this is the part that I don't get about making TV, because that's not what y'all seem to be talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know, who runs a business? Who would think that you would do that? Especially for something that's not your own. But you can't do that with anybody. You collect money from people who you got as investors. They're gonna want to know where their money went.
Yeah. Just shut up and give the money.
Just Bogart them, huh? We need this.
Well, I think that's why they're not collecting the money. And I think it's a little bit of because if we're this far in and it doesn't seem like none of the money is coming from the ladies yet. So has Simone donated? Quad hasn't, and it doesn't seem like Contessa has. So if it's
that's what I mean. It's not, we're not getting any real details.
Yeah, we're not. So I like to,
and that's why I said it just looks like a sabotage to me, because you're not giving me enough details. Now Toya is already asked, wrong, backwards, whatever, but still just give the details. You want us to follow the thread? Give the details.
Mm-hmm. So then we go to the next day. And so Dr. Eugene, he still, is feeling a way about it. Bernard arrives with an attitude. Shamar arrives. His plane was late. He got only a couple of hours to stay. And I was going, he's a nice looking guy. And then so the women are going to go on some kind of raft and a massage. And the men are going to be on the beach with the massage. The ladies were kind of a little bit, taken back with the fact that this is not what they thought they were getting on, and Dr. Jackie said, "You want me getting that water?" So it is what it is. I've seen people take those kind of, rides. My son did one when they went.
Mm-hmm. So that kind of annoyed, that little scene annoyed me with them a little bit, because it's just like, I don't know.
But Toya tries to be so bougie. She does.
I think that was an idea that she thought was bougie. I'm talking about the other ladies just kind of having the like all of that stuff. It's just like, get with the program. Come on.
It didn't look bougie though. That's what they said. According to the grand things she liked to do. So when they get to the men, like we said, the guys are getting on those sprinters. What's his name? Bernard arrives. Dr. Eugene's like, shoot, I thought he was one of the help. He didn't know who these people was, and he wanted to know, hey, where we supposed to be going? And then Dr. Eugene got to explaining what the guy's going to do that day. So, and Cecil was excited. We getting some massages. And I thought it was cute. Look at all the men getting their little massages. But before they get there, Dr. Eugene says he'd like to have a word with Dr. Damon. Dr. Damon was like, it's always me. Look, I'm not for no, I'm trying to have a good time. I'm not for no negativity. I just ain't with it, So they go to the beach and they get to talking about this thing. And Dr. Eugene brings up the fact about someone says they wanted to see it fail. Basically, I guess he's saying Heavenly said it. And Dr. Damon was like, look, I ain't even trying to hear this. The thing in a couple of days, either we're going to give the money or not. And then Curtis asks, will the men, help donate? Everybody basically say, yeah, except for Steve. Steve said, I donated to other places. I ain't buying no $5,000 ashtray bowl this time. He said, no, nobody told my wife shit. And she ain't even a newbie this year. She don't know. They didn't include her on nothing, and we ain't donating. And they was like, you ain't got to explain, that's your position. Just say you ain't donating. We fine with it. Let's roll on. And one thing I will say, King said that was right. Let the women handle that women stuff over there. We let us be cool over here. Let them argue and fight, because we know they're going to argue and fight and be back in each other's faces. Because it seems like Heavenly and Toya are on the rap together, are they?
Oh, I didn't pay attention. Maybe.
I said, are they on the rap together? But I thought, yeah. So, but other than that, that's how it ended. So, what do you think about that whole thing?
For me, the episode, I think it was just kind of meh, yeah, it was just a little meh for me.
A little meh. It was, I would rate it probably about a 7. I thought it was more entertaining than the reunion that came on prior to it. So
even though it was probably more entertaining because they had a lot more spats, but at the core of it, it's like we're not getting, I don't know what y'all really barking about, really, so that's kind of why I'm like, it's just a meh.
Well, I seem to think that the bark is because Toya is who she is. Yeah. And Toya is, I feel like all the other episodes before we got to this Jamaican trip, Toya has really been going in on Heavenly. And Heavenly just said, fuck it. I'm going to give it to your ass on this trip. That's what it seems like she did. I'm just going to load on her ass when we go to Jamaica. And that's what she did. Really, I thought, Heavenly did a lot on that sprinter. And I don't know. I thought I said, oh, damn. She just threw the whole trying to be demure out the window.
Trying to be demure, right?
Yeah, she was just trying, or decorum, all of it. She just threw it out. Fuck it. I'm going to just be Heavenly for this whole trip. But I do agree with Dr. Damon. Basically, he had told Heavenly, long as you arguing with the ladies, I'm not getting in it. But once, a man says something to you, then that's a different thing. So I think that like you I'm on, because this is not Eugene's first season, you know, because first season his wife got in the whole fight. So I feel like we know this game that they do. He didn't, I'm pretty sure he didn't watch some of these episodes. So he already know the game and knows what is driving the ratings or whatever. And I just felt like maybe because he was in charge of the trip, and maybe because Toya is the host of the Met Gala, that I'm like, God dang, calm down. I just felt like he was a little bit emotional for some TV bullshit. That's the way I took it.
Well, that's why I compared him to like Will Smith in the Oscar slap, because I think it might be, like I say, a culmination. Because like you said, maybe it is because it's the cash trip. Like they kind of got this forefront. Not that they've ever been in the background, you know what I mean, per se, but just kind of at the point where you just tired of being the butt of the joke. You know, like every season is they moved. You know what I mean? Like every season there is something that is being picked apart with them. And maybe he just is kind of like getting fed up with it.
Well, it all starts with his wife.
Yeah, I'm not, like I say, I'm not, when I'm saying that, it's not to say that she's like some innocent, you know, like person, but I'm just explaining the dynamic. Yeah, you tired of that, the narrative kind of coming around that y'all broke, y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just, it always go back to something, to that same thing. That's the first thing I said when Will Smith got up and slapped Chris Rock. I said he was tired of being the butt of the joke, and Chris Rock was just like, that's how it happened. You know what I'm saying? He just happened to be the straw that broke the
camel's back. Yeah, because when it happened, I'm like, is that a skit? That's when he turned around and said, "Keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth." I said, "Oh, he for real."
Yeah. And funny thing is, I said that without seeing it. I was driving home from somewhere. My cousin called me in the car. I'm in the car, and that's what she said. Because she said, "You watching the Oscars?" I said, "No, I'm on my way home." You know, woo. She said, "Girl, Will Smith just slapped the shit out of Chris Rock." I said, "What?"
I said, the joke wasn't even that bad.
She said, and the next thing out of my mouth was, he tired of being the butter. Like, I didn't even need to see it. You know what I mean? Like, all you got to do is give me the points, and I can tell you what happened. Yeah, he was tired. And so and that's exactly like you said, once I did see it and then see I'm like, yeah, I told you, he just lost it. Like, this is it. Because it's again, don't make him right. Because even today, I'm like, I think they let him off easy. I was really irritated that he had did that to Chris Rock. You know what I mean? Like, in that platform, the fact that Will Packer had got the chance to produce it, here I go, you son of a you know, like I like you and everything, but no, like this, you should have stayed your black ass at home if you didn't know how to.
And let somebody else accept the award for your ass.
Right? Yeah, if you didn't know how
you're
to,
already on edge,
because this wasn't the time, partner. Like, you know, and not to say again, I get it, but this wasn't the time. And so I still take up for Chris Rock in there, because you only did that because you felt like you could get away with it. You wouldn't have did that to somebody else who you thought would have cocked their fist back, and you know what I'm saying? So, you know, and so it feels, you know, that's different, but that's what I mean. It just kind of feels like that with Eugene. Like, it's just this bubble up again, you know, start off with the the small penis and this and that. Then you got your wife cussing you out. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just ain't getting no respect nowhere. And then
right.
Can't get no respect. Right.
Respect it all.
Like you, your wife over here, they ain't respecting her. They seem like they setting her up for failure, like, and so here we go again. 12 years in, we got another reunion. You know what I'm saying? Like, and my wife got to be, the one kind of scraping up at the bottom. So, and again, I'm not saying that she's innocent. I'm just explaining it. Like, Mm-hmm.
Well, Toya. All I can say,
There'll never be any change without self accountability. I was talking to my son about that. Just in general, in life, like we were saying about what you accept and what somebody, give. Like there is never, you cannot change anything if you're not willing to have a reflective look. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's okay to be able to identify, everybody else's parts and hands, but it takes a lot, and it really should be very, very normal for people, like if you what I told my son is that's an important part of conflict resolution. If your goal, especially with something that's going on, is to resolve that type of conflict, then it takes you looking inside yourself, because you can't resolve conflict if the two of you are still, like, everybody's trying to say their part. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, you did, and I, like you always explaining whatever your reaction is. That because fine, but you just have to take the accountability for the reaction, for the perception, for what I'm saying, like whatever, so that you can get to a space where y'all can move on. You can't move on when you waiting, and you can't move on if the person is not going to be accountable, though. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's just, I guess that's the part why housewives work, because they're not versed in conflict resolution. Like, that's not the name of the game. I think we play like it is, right? That's why we go to the reunion and things are supposed to get wrapped up then, but and I guess in TV world, maybe it does, and that's the reason why they're able to come back year after year. But I feel like maybe there's some things, like this thing with Eugene and the small penis and being disrespected on TV, where it seeps into a place of this is got affected us in a real way. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not just television and not just this fodder that we are putting on. Now it's seeped into a personal space.
Well, I know last year he about had a heart attack on the beach. He was so outdone what to do. He had to walk and hug Dr. David. I was looking. I said, "Oh, he about to have a whole coronary." So, yeah, it is what it is. But women, we tend to be real catty and petty. And I think that he needs to just kind of fall back a little bit. And that way because you see, his wife was not worried about taking the time out with him. She stayed there for the shit.
You're right.
Yeah, so, I mean, so he, then, Steve made the light. Evidently, they seen a little bit more than we saw, because Steve and Dr. Jackie in her confessional both said he was walking like this. I really didn't see that when he walked off, but maybe it must have showed, they saw it somewhere, because both of them said
I think they were just being facetious.
Well, he laughed about it, but I thought when Dr. Jackie said it in her confession,
yeah, that's why I said I think they were just being. To me, I think they were being facetious in a sense of him being big, him, like just kind of making. And I mean, he kind of probably does have like a waddle type of walk, like I think they were being facetious for sure.
I said, well, I didn't really see him walk that way. But to me, they showed seemed like it was like an angrily walk.
Well, right. That's what I mean. They're trying to express the emotion. Like he didn't just walk because I'm going to my room. He, pouted away is the sentiment.
Because he didn't even go to the room. He stood there some more. I guess.
Yeah,
Let me
but
wait on my wife.
the sentiment I was getting, they were trying to say he pouted. Well, see, and that's another thing. Like, I don't know how long you get to really kind of attack a man's manhood. I don't know how long that. I don't know. We 12 years in, we'll see. It looked like Gene's starting to crack. But to the specific emotion that I thought they were trying to evoke with that action was that he pouted. Which that's a feminine trait.
Well,
it's a childish trait. Let's say it that way. Don't let me put a gender on it. Let me say it's a childish trait. But it's a
yeah, okay. I would say feminine trait to me, but I think the whole thing to come over there and try to make his wife go and take a time out and she just kind of shoot him off.
Well, I mean, so like right, that's what I mean. Like it's just this constant cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like what you say, Roger can't get no respect, right?
No, and it's all with his wife.
And that was kind of similar to what they did at their place, right? At the pool, where she wanted him to get up and go, right?
So
that's what I mean. I think I don't know how long you get to attack a person's manhood subliminally in their face. You know what I mean? Blatantly. Like, I don't know how long that takes place. And they don't do it to anybody else but Eugene.
Because his wife is the only one that does it.
It's
about being so broke.
Go back to that too. If his wife treating him a certain way, it does not give everybody else permission to jump on that. It does not. And like I say, nobody should, right? Nobody in the whole mix should. But just because his wife talked to him crazy, but that's what I mean. Like, it's just this vicious little cycle. Like, nobody is gonna respect you, nobody, huh? And it seemed to me like maybe Toya had a conversation with him about the way she wants him to show up, because he is making it his point to show up that way. I don't know, but that bothers me for him. It really does. I don't know why. Maybe because my son is gay. I don't know, but it feels sensitive to me that they would do him like that.
But I wouldn't people that would be.
Well, that's what I mean. Like like you say, I don't think one has. I don't. But I'm saying I just feel very sensitive to his manhood, just always like being. I don't know. Like, and I'm not even gonna use the word question, but belittle, because it's not being like nobody's saying like, oh, you think nothing like that. But right, like trying to like presume that I don't like. And I don't know, like, that's what I'm trying to figure out. What is like this? I get what they call it, toxic masculinity.
Yeah, like, he's not a manly man.
Like, okay, like is it that? But I'm saying like what gives anybody the right to make you feel less than? Because
I think the person who's doing it is Toya, though. When she told him to shut up and eat the biscuit or whatever, I don't know. Even if she thought that his penis was gonna grow, maybe she thought of that, said it as a joke. But the way she has talked to him in front of all of the couples, it's not like they heard her say it over the phone. No, you got belligerent with him there, even at the house. And then she tried to turn the thing on Heavenly and Dr. Mimi and Brandy, which I thought, what? Your drunk ass got out here and showed your ass because your husband didn't move as quick as you wanted him to. And like, that's one thing, like I said, I don't do public embarrassment. Then nobody wanted to play no game. Everybody wanted to sit around and do whatever they was doing. They were enjoying themselves. They didn't want to, she didn't get the response that she wanted. So she clicked on her husband, who she knew she could click on. Because
I do feel like with this group, maybe that's like when they do these couples trips, retreats, maybe that's something they should bring up. I think there is a problem in which like you say, Heavenly did not do it this episode, but because it's already, kind of there, it's almost an expectation, you know what I mean? Like that she would, kind of just keep going back there. So it's kind of like, why is it that they won't help Toya in that retrospect to say, hey, like, you should treat Eugene better.
They have said that.
Well, Heavenly did in that text, but it feels like nobody else kind of, like, that's what I mean. Like in these settings where it should happen, why don't we ever see it happening? Well, it's Toya's trip now, so I guess she's not gonna put her thing. But I'm just, just in general, because this is not to your point, it's been happening. So there's been plenty of opportunity for that type of thing to go down, and it just never has. But I don't know.
Even at the pool party, Toya, Dr. Heavenly tried to stop her. She said, Toya, Toya, Toya. And then when she said that, I mean, I don't know. Toya seems to have the nicest gentleman. He's gonna ride for her, and I just don't understand why she treats him that way. It becomes, the joke is, okay, Curtis is the cheater, Cecil is broke.
And I think she, I wonder if her actions to him, because it's got to be mirroring something. And I wonder if it's got to be is it something like, is there something else that she's wanting? Like, is there a way where she's projecting what everybody feeling like he might be? I don't even know what the word is, because I don't it's not soft. I don't consider him soft. I don't consider him, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I definitely don't consider him hyper masculine. But even for me with men, those things don't bother me. I don't need a man to be. As a matter of fact, too much hyper like King's masculinity is too much for me. I'm not talking about the way he looks.
No, I'm not talking about that either.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying his presence. It's a little too much. Not that I don't want a strong guy, but there's a presence that sometimes men can dominate and have. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I tell you what I do want a man. I wanted a man to be
aggressor, or even just in a space that way. I don't know. So that's why I'm like, so his message, the way he speaks sometimes, the quad and stuff
Well, I think most of the men who are foreigners, I think they are chauvinistic. Most of them are. I feel like. I would say maybe, I don't know, but Toya's just ghetto. That's the only thing I get.
And so, right now, that could just be it. She might just be crass, don't know how to treat nobody. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is.
Whatever her childhood trauma is, it's coming out. And evidently, her and Eugene was raised totally different. So just the things she says and just the things she even talks about with the boys. I mean, like that. So I don't know, but he said he didn't want a woman that he can dominate over. He wanted somebody who's gonna give him pushback. Honey, she pushing his ass to the wall.
Well, that's
because I feel like with that, and I think that's I mean, most of his issue to me starts with Toya. And how she presents him to the others, and what she does.
You feel like he probably is projecting his issue with Toya to everybody else.
I think so, because with nobody else,
that would make sense to me. That makes sense, yeah.
Because I mean, because she's the one who did the embarrassment.
That can make sense, which go back to why isn't it a couple in sight that could even present that, to say like,
because
hey.
I think because he'll say he don't have a problem with it, and because he's gonna agree with her.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Then the cycle just repeats, and he
Mm-hmm.
about to go off on somebody. I just
Mm-hmm.
don't want him saying nothing to Heavenly, because I don't want him and Dr. Damon getting into it.
Right.
So if they gonna have the back and forth, because Toya and Heavenly is the same type of bitch.
Mm-hmm.
They are.
I can see what you mean by that. So you just let them go toe to toe.
Yeah. We know it's a show. They're not friends for real.
Mm-hmm.
It's a show. We making the money. We paying the mortgage. We going on trips or whatever they doing with their money. I let them have it. And I wouldn't, to me, he's going to have himself a coronary heart attack. Because Toya ain't that bothered.
Yeah.
At least that's what she portrayed. She's not that bothered. He is upset. And I feel like, and Dr. Damon, like, well, shit, I already know how Heavenly is, and, basically, I don't want to talk about this. Either we're going to donate or not. And, I don't want to talk about it. Let the women have, let them deal with each other. Because
that's what they should do. And I think they usually had a decent way of allowing them to do that. But like you said, it do seem like there's a shift this year with Gene and, with, I guess, just, I don't know, wanting to set boundaries or bring it to the carpet or something.
Yeah. Because like I would say, if Toya was a timid person, her first year, this has been her first year on the show or something, Toya she gets what she puts out. I mean, and she can give it. It's not like, she's sitting back there, she's timid and, oh my God, I don't know what to do. She's not Angel from Real Housewives of Potomac. Toya ass up here crying about shit.
Right. Yeah.
My life is good up here. So she's making the show, and I just don't understand why he was just that upset when it's women stuff. Now, because like I said, I don't want the men to be involved in that. We know how this housewives, this kind of stuff is. They're gonna be arguing and carrying on, and the next thing you know, if he's into it, interjects himself, Damon is not going to let him say nothing crazy to Dr. Heavenly. So let the women do what the fuck they do and just stay away from that.
Well, I definitely don't think he should interject himself in between. So, and even with what he did with Toya, he didn't. I think that they do understand that they're not trying to go there. But I wonder, that's why I'm bringing up, I wonder if his venom, when it comes to Heavenly, got to do with not, like, I think that if she happens to say something that is towards Gene, even if she's speaking to Toya, you know what I mean? Like, that causes him to feel like she's pulling him into something with her.
Because remember, the thing that was said, and Dr. Heavenly didn't even know, because she said she don't watch the show. Those text threads, she didn't have no idea that they was put. That's something they do outside the show.
Right.
And when Toya, when they actually put them up, she said, because if she said they put them text threads, she said, we all go to hell. She said, because the way we talk on there, she said, I had no idea that was coming to the show. So Toya brought it to the show and they put it up there. So there again, you got Heavenly talking about Eugene, but if Toya never would have brought, because nobody else was bringing the thread up, but Toya. So I think his embarrassment lies with his wife.
Yeah.
So, and I don't know why she did that, because Dr. Heavenly just could not believe. She didn't, when Carlos King told her it was on there, she was like, hell no, it ain't. And he was like, yes. And he showed her. She just was, really taken back that, what? She said, they're putting this on the show? She said, because of the things we talk about on here, we're not expecting this to come on the show.
Wow. Okay. I don't know. That sounds silly to me. I don't know why I don't know. It always surprises me that people think that they wouldn't put whatever they wanted to on that show, first of all, and whatever was given to them. Like, yeah, I understand. Like, all the housewives have a group chat. You know, that's not um, only something that they happen to do. They are anybody who works with a group of women would have a group chat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I agree. Generally, 9 times out of 10, like other stuff. Like I said, I hate when they bring an argument that they've had off camera. Like, and then it filters on camera because the audience doesn't have any, anything to go off of besides what's being said. It's the same for that type of situation. No, they're not gonna run and scroll the whole text thread. So all the talk about, well, we talk about so much. Well, none of that fucking matters. All they really want to get to is whatever it is. Like the same as what they were seeing, what they would show if you gave it to them on the reunion. Like, it's a show. You don't control what they show and don't show. I like how long you got to be on the show to realize that. And so if she gave it to them, why wouldn't they show it? That's the deal about sometimes about.
Well, I guess the expectation was that she would. That I guess she
wouldn't show it. That
yes.
is right. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Then see that, but that's what I mean. Everybody has broken that in some sort of way at some point in time. You know what I mean? Like that's what whether it's an argument you're talking about that y'all had, whether it's a phone call, the phone chain y'all do before the reunion, like you know what I'm saying? Like it's all. So I mean, yeah.
Well, yeah. I'm saying that it would not have been out there but Toya put it there to be seen. Oh, because we wouldn't have known about it.
That sounds like the same. It's the same thing. Like, no, it wouldn't be there if you didn't say it. If you didn't send it, it wouldn't have. There would be nothing to show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure there's other things to show on that text stream that they text about that Toya didn't put up. She just put it up. This about that damn because trying to come at Toya. I mean, Dr. Heavenly about that fake purse. She says.
Well, of course. Of course.
I mean, but in the meanwhile, but if your husband feeling, I'm pretty sure he should have said, or she should know that he's feeling the type of way about them talking about his man parts on TV. I wouldn't have put it up there. I wouldn't have put it up there. I mean, for what?
Well,
I mean, how did it help bring the story together? She still had the purse at her house.
I don't know. I was about Heavenly talking about how she was surprised they showed like like it was some top secret thing, and it's like
no, it wasn't top secret. What she said she didn't know that Toya was going to put the texters up there. They never done it before.
But here going back to the self accountability, that doesn't absolve you.
No, she wasn't saying that. No, I wasn't. I didn't say that. I'm saying that the different things that they talk about on here, she just, okay, so now we're putting this stuff out here. Okay, so I'm going to be mindful of what we're saying now because we didn't have any of us putting these things out but Toya.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, if I was talking to Heavenly, I would have the same type of conversation with her. I hear you, but the logic doesn't make sense to me just because all it takes is one. So if they're like, it's the same thing about when you're talking to a person. If you don't want something to get out, I guess you should be careful about what you say, period. You know what I mean? Like, there's not many things that I'm saying to whoever it is that you wouldn't be able to go say to somebody else. If there's something I don't want you to say, then 9 times out of 10, I'm not saying it to you.
Well, I guess for the people who be so upset about heavily talking about what is shown on the show, and she talking about.
So this is what we're gonna say about Heavenly. Heavenly gets a break because a lot of people relate to the way that she moves, the way that she speaks, the way that she attacks, the way like all of it. So that is the reason that goes to her YouTube channel, all of it. That's how she ended up going in, which is no different than anybody else. Like if you got the fan base who, feels that way, then you're going to fuel, whatever it is you're pumping out. what I'm saying is like she gets a break off of the foul bullshit that she says. She is foul. Now, again, I've taken up for those girls not being supportive of her campaign. However, I understand, like you said, why Toya had it out for her as soon as she hit the stage. Because yeah, Toya's feeling is somebody who's this nasty, who speaks this way. You think she's supposed to be in somebody's Congress? That's really what it is. And so, and I'm saying maybe one don't have to do with the other. You know what I'm saying? Like but so maybe you just be supportive that she's trying to do something and make a change or whatever. However, that does not negate that Heavenly has a foul mouth. That's the end. And that's the end. That's the end. And I do think that again, Toya disrespecting her husband does not give you permission to disrespect. It's just like you. Like, even though you say you don't do the public embarrassment, but at the end of the day, however way you decide to speak to your husband, ain't no way somebody else coming in there thinking they can do that also, practically or not, right?
Well, who's speaking to him like that?
Well, so that's what I'm saying. Like, well, my husband dig big, and like that. Like I think that Heavenly is foul for doing that in her fight with Toya. And so I'm saying, even though Toya is the person that has put that in, given that to them, right, for them to have that type of ammo, I'm still saying it doesn't absolve Heavenly from being nasty and messy. It's enough insults to insult them with without ever going there. Because again, that at that point, you're not keeping that fight between y'all two. You pulling that woman's husband into it, who ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Now Toya don't turn around and say, well, Damon, nothing about Damon. She don't make up nothing about Damon. She don't call out nothing. He's short. Whatever, like nothing.
Because their husband's the same height.
I thought Damon was shorter. He looked shorter than me.
They're the same height.
But yeah, so I think Heavenly is foul with her mouth. I think Heavenly could, she always doing some apologies and then go back and do the same damn thing. So it don't really matter one way or the other. Heavenly just got a foul mouth, and it's not cool. It's not cool to say that's just how somebody is. Yeah.
Oh, no. But I do feel like it's fair game when you act the same way.
Well, it is. I guess it is, in a sense. Yeah.
Because I felt, Toya doesn't go on live like that.
To say, both of y'all keep the husbands out of it. Whatever y'all go back and forth on, go back and forth on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Keep the husbands out of it.
But so
and to Toya's just defense about her husband, which is what I was saying to you, like, I get it. If I do dog my husband out, I'm the only one get to do it. Like, you don't.
Yeah. To an extent, they go above, it is what it is, because he's giving them the ammunition.
That's what I mean. Like, you go, like, if you did speak to your husband a certain way, I can come in there and speak to him that way just because you did. Like you say, put this man. You think I can come in and put this biscuit in your mouth?
I don't think they said that to him. Oh, she shouldn't have put the text thread out, knowing her man feel away. She brought it to the forefront. I feel like they both are the same person, her and Heavenly, other than Toya does not have the platform that goes on YouTube and talk her shit.
Mm-hmm,
but Heavenly, Toya has done some mean shit too. And like I said, it's entertaining to watch them too. I'm not even gonna lie, it's entertaining. And I like the fact that Angel is not afraid to come at Toya either with the bullshit. So yes, I just want to
You
see.
know what I do like also that I thought about with this episode, as we look at Housewives, like as they evolve, and Married to Medicine in its own way, I appreciate just that thread of the professional nursing to kind of incorporate them into the medicine. I think that's I thought of it. I for some reason it stuck out to me this episode for some reason. I don't know why, but I thought that was a really kind of smart thing. I think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Just because doctors are doctors and that's cool, but nurses, the professional nurses are that's hard work and they're necessary and they really do. I think probably to patient care, are more important than physicians in a sense. Not the treatment, I mean the actual like care of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
So yeah, I thought that it is great to see, a little bit more than just the doctor on there. So yeah, and you see this way we're getting younger women on there too. So and you can see their lives. But watching Angel, Dr. Heavenly, and Carlos King on the Patreon before, it was funny as heck. And it was funny. And Angel is definitely no angel. I mean, she's not scared to come with the shits. I thought, oh my God, this lady is funny as heck. And basically, Dr. Heavenly was like kind of passing the torch to her. Basically, it was a good lie they did. I was like, dang, because at first, before we got this far, Angel kind of to me was background. We didn't, until she had a little scrubs line or whatever. But when she went on to that YouTube, the Patreon, you got to see more of her personality. I'm like, oh my goodness, it was a good time with them. It really was. So I was like, okay, we got a chance to see this. I said, well, I guess next year if she gets another chance, it'll be great. But yeah, I'm enjoying the season so far. I just thought, oh God, please don't let Eugene and Dr. Damon get into it. Please don't.
I hope they don't either. I don't want any of the men to get into it because to your point, there's no reason why they should. Yeah. And no reason why any of them should be disrespecting any of the wives in any way. So yeah.
And then what I was gonna say, so next week episode, we're gonna have Curtis Bible thumping over there. I said
the adulterer.
Yes. Right message, wrong messenger. So, and then we find out that King wanted to marry Quad and Quad didn't really want to get married. Is what she says.
I didn't roll my eyes because I don't believe that.
But she just wanted to have a baby.
It's just one of these things where I just don't like. I don't like. That's what I guess. This is the struggle for me being like a modern woman and still having maybe like some traditional values or something, because it's just like what? Because even in that same sentence, in that same thread, you want him. I want to have his babies. It felt. My thought was like, this girl is lost. Like,
I said, damn, Dr. G did a number on her.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck is she talking about?
Yeah, I was like, this girl is lost, because I don't understand how you can have that conviction to want to have somebody's babies, but not to want to have that commitment to them that way. At this age that you are, I can say my kids there, we were teenagers, number one, so we was in teen love, and so on one end the order, so I could get where Curtis is coming from. Like I said, I am a person that would have something to say about order to things, and there is something to be said about having order and about the way blessings come to you.
Yeah, God don't bless mess.
Right. So listen, I just was pointing out that, yeah, he probably could have needed to try to soften that type of message, you know.
He said, "Did you do everything right?"
Don't vibe well with somebody who, you know, just like, well, you wasn't just cheating, but I'm just saying, you know.
Curtis said, we see it every day.
Yeah. You know, but so going back to Quad, like that wouldn't be like, I'm trying to understand for you, why is that not the hope for yourself? Why is that not the hope for this child that you are, you know, wanting to? And so from like, it's one of these things that I feel like us with women is like, as independent as we got, the kind of backlash that comes with that, because now we just walk into some situations that don't feel like they the safest and the smartest, you know what I mean? Like, and while you convincing us that this is what you want and consider, for some reason, I don't think that is what you want. You know what I'm saying? I like, and then it goes back to go, like I say, I have a different way of thinking of a lot of stuff. King with his daughter, having a daughter already. I think I mentioned it in the previous live. I said I think I can see how seeing somebody with their daughter be a good father. I don't understand how that I can see it. Yeah, like if I saw somebody being a good dad, I'm like, oh shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, I want a piece of that. But the flip side for me would be, I don't know that I ever could shake. And this goes to my my choice to be single the way I have been with my boys. But I don't know that I have the capacity to understand how you could come be a good dad over here, but you're not over there with yours. Like I just would always be wondering how long, you know what I mean? Because you didn't stick it out over there with that child. And even though I get, like, I know shit happens, whatever, people ain't good together, but I guess for me as a mom, having a child is the lifelong commitment, and so watching a dad kind of be in and out, that's just not something I'll ever want it or will want. So I don't know. Like, you know, I know it sounds crazy. I said I didn't even want to date somebody who had kids. At this point, I'll date somebody who have kids, but they need to be grown like mine. You know, like not in a you know, state where they still like middle school and all of that. Maybe high school, but elementary and middle school, no, because I think your commitment needs to be to raising your kid. Not that you got to make it work with their mom, but yeah, your commitment just needs to be to them. And I don't know how you come over here and start some new shit with me and do that.
That's different. I would say that. So you're saying that a person with children should stay single until they raise their kids?
You know, when you put it that way, I guess effectively that is what I said. Like, I wouldn't verbiage it that way, but like I said, I guess in a nutshell, that might be just what it boiled down to. Because, and I like I say, I guess I just look at men that way, because I think I just see, like, I'm always questioning why men are in the house with their children. You know what I mean? And again, I do know that there's a multitude of reasons. Some valid, some whatever. Maybe he just whatever, deadbeat, whatever it is, you know. But yeah, I just like, you know, you like the man that has kids and then he go over and start a family somewhere else, and now all of a sudden you know, the perfect dad here, but now your kids don't get that. Like, I don't know. It's just something I've thought about. Like, yeah, it don't seem conducive. That's why I say I wouldn't put it in that type of verbiage, but I think in a nutshell, that is what I said.
So you don't think he could be a good dad to the one he already had, and then
I don't know why Quad would want that for herself. That's kind of that. Like,
I don't know why. Slim. I can see if she was a young woman. So the guy that
she better get what's coming, huh? Yeah. She better tell this.
She already in Atlanta, so you know.
Yeah, but that's what I think essentially that's what I mean. It's like I don't know why that is what choir would want. I think why would I don't know. But again, without the commitment, like because I would think that the commitment would be something that at least will give you I don't know, just another bit of security. But I don't
know. She already thinks different because she wants him to move into her home.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he would never do that. So,
and funny enough, I wouldn't do that.
Me either.
Yeah, I would be more than willing to sell and go get something together. I wouldn't want to move in something he already had. I would want us to get something that was ours together. Mm-hmm.
I would be over there paying off his first wife mortgage like Sweet
That's
Tea.
right. Okay.
Paying off Claude's mortgage.
Okay.
Girl, you done married this man 20 years your senior and you're still paying off a mortgage?
Mm-hmm.
She ought to be like Wendy.
Mm-hmm.
Not knowing how the bills get paid.
They're not over there paying them.
She already done lost a government job, dozed and went in and cut her out, had a furlough for a while. Girl.
That's funny.
Now, that's the type of girl I would think not know nothing what's going on because she's married to the doctor and she just seemed the way she is. I mean, she just don't seem that bright. I mean, I'm saying she's not, but a little something seems a little off with Sweet Tea to me. Not that she's not book smart, but it just seems like she's a little.
She's just awkward.
Yes, very, but very. I would say, but yeah, I would now if something like that happened to her and Dr. G, I would say she didn't know. Definitely, I would say she didn't know. She just signed. Mm-hmm. She just over there paying the mortgage. She don't even know if it's still a mortgage on the house.
Mm-hmm. So. Like I said, I hear you, and I do understand because I understand, but I literally can't see Dr. Wendy being in that position. I really can. It's not even just trying to give her feed into it. I just really can. And that, like I say, because the literal thought did pop into my mind, like, damn, Eddie probably could have been taking her for a ride. And maybe not even intentionally. Well, okay, take it back. Of course.
Well, all I know is they didn't talk to some real crooks before they did this shit. Either one of them.
Yeah. Because like I said, I can see where if everything feels like it's adding up as far as she is able, I could see her not going in, budgeting the books, not going in, and just looking if nothing has popped up to kind of say you ain't got no notice that you done came across.
Okay, so I will say this. Usually in a relationship, there's someone who handles things better than the other, right? Mm-hmm. So flip that. My husband probably wouldn't know exactly because I'm the one who usually pays the things, but he definitely knows what the fuck going on with his money in his account. He knows all these other things. Now he'll go and say, okay, that bill is due. Okay, Angela, when is that? Or something like that. Yeah. But
but the only inkling that would cause him to think something is wrong is if something right. Like if something go wrong. Yeah. Did
you pay the bill? It's the shit. It's the lights shit. Yeah, I paid it. God damn it.
Exactly.
You still watch
that's what I mean. I watch a lot of the crime shows. It happens more often than you think. That I know that's a bit extreme, but I'm just using it as an example to say just more often than you think. It might be a wife handling stuff. Hell, they on the verge of being foreclosed, and the man don't even know. He just going to work every day.
Girl, because I know somebody who that happened to for real.
See, he's just going to work shit, and now she done got to unalive you because she don't want you to come.
Lord Jesus, poor Wendy.
So at least he just said, well, shoot, did they rob the house? and even as she was even as she was explaining it, y'all, listen. I literally said to myself, because going back to they can use everything against you, and then again going to them separating this case, I said, damn, Eddie could have known that they was gonna be on vacation. Set that shit up for them to come back and find.
He set it up right. I would have.
Well, here's the thing, because even with everything that we watch, the reason why we able to watch it is because they got, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because they got caught, you know what I mean. So clearly, we only talking about it because he didn't get away with it. If he got away with it, nobody would know. But that's what I mean. Like, so I'm saying, like, I literally am like, okay, y'all out of town, y'all come back in. You know what I'm saying? Like, sounds like a setup.
She was in on it. How she might not know the finances. I bet you she knew about that fake burglary. If it's a fake burglary, I believe she known about it. Because I think if we're gonna actively commit a crime or whatever, I would be.
The only way to keep a secret is if one is dead. So it actually, for real, that's the truth. I'm saying that to say
where the side piece at then? The side piece got to come in there.
I don't think he would tell her. I think he would do that and keep it to himself. Because even with the email saying, "Is that all that you want to claim?" Like it's not.
No, he said more than that because we got to get to the max. Is what he said.
Well, okay. Even with that being said, he like it's still so. It's like I'm gonna say an order that he's giving her. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I'm not thinking that she is in the mind frame of feeling like we're in cahoots to commit this together. Like we're doing this.
She was giving out receipts and she already took stuff back on, and it was her designer stuff. They was in cahoots, at least on that part.
Okay, I can actually see her husband being able to pull it off, and I can see where she could get wrapped up in this aftermath, but not have no idea that none of that ever, like that wasn't real. You know what I mean? Like. I'm still kind of.
So you think she was just trying to, once we had the rivalry, pad it a little bit.
Let's just be clear. I try to live my life as honestly as I can. Who wouldn't want to max out something?
Exactly. But I'm pretty sure when she looked at that daggone scene,
I don't know that this is this malicious like little thing, but that's why I'm saying I think there is a way where something could have been going on behind the scenes that she is not privy to that caused this to want to have to take place. However, that's what I mean. Like you get to it, like people who get into the car accident, just go to the hospital, right? Ain't that what they just go?
Yeah, so you can get fall out,
right? So that's what I mean.
They're gonna use that against me.
Most people, like I'm not saying it's okay to do it, but most people will try to go ahead and figure out whatever loophole they can to max out what they have the ability to get,
So she maxed out and then she used receipts of stuff she already taken back.
Now I know she know that that's wrong. Yeah, but now maybe she didn't got in too deep with that. But but I like to say I thought to myself, there's a way Eddie could have had his little scrubby look. Like I said, she probably thought he was going to work. He ain't been nowhere to work. He been flipping and tripping around with her damn money some kind of way, like making her think he bringing money in. And this,
but shit, but damn, somebody got to see the taxes. Then, god damn.
But like maybe she don't. Maybe all she do is sign. Maybe all she does is give whatever information. You know, I don't know. Cause see, I don't have nobody I gotta file my taxes with. I don't know.
Damn.
So I don't know.
That's being basically naive all the way to your detriment.
It is, but you know, as a single woman, and again, going back to me watching all of this stuff, the scary part about a lot of stuff is that do you ever really know somebody for real? Like I always think about that.
But do we really know ourselves like that then?
Well, that's the truth.
In a certain situation, I mean,
You know,
right. I'm just saying, for her to be the boss lady that she is,
the boss lady that she presents, you know,
she presents, but
right.
no, that she backs it up though. She backs it up, but she gotta have some kind of discipline.
At the point in which, because I've done this in real life. I was in my 20s. I worked at a doctor's office. There was a young lady who would she bragged a lot about her husband, about how he came in and gave her his check. You know, every week when he get paid, he give me his check. You know, like I do this and I kind of, you know, like that. And so, like to your point, when you said Wendy, when she said she don't know anything, she was doing that as the flex. I feel like this girl was kind of saying that at the time as a flex, right? Because in some world, women want a man who will come in the house and just hand over everything to them. Well, in that time, I said, I don't want a man who would go out to work and then hand me all his money. You know, like I don't need that for my man to make me feel secure. What I would want is probably the opposite. A man who could go take out, you know, make his money and then make sure, you know, the shit is taken care of at home. I don't want to be a grown man's mother or a grown man's secretary or a grown man, you know what I mean? Like I don't want to be dishing out allowance, especially if it's my money and I'm doing it, that's different. But I don't need to dish your own money out to you. You know, like
evidently, so Eddie must be the daddy then.
Well, but that's what I said. That's what I'm saying. Like that feels like you got a man that ain't really a man. But that's just me, you know, on that, because I have a different expectation of how my house will run. And so yes, I feel the same. Yeah. It's so. I think there's a world where she could have that. I don't know that, like you said, she presents as a boss lady, but the moment that you said you don't know what the bills and this and that is, that would be the opposite of what a boss lady's representation would say about herself. That's a kept woman, is what you just said.
Well, that's what she wants to portray herself, as a kept woman.
That's probably what she would like to be, is why she left her job as a professor. She, you know, she made the money and got them there. And maybe that was the agreement that they made about it. I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like in their marriage and where they worked it. But that's what I mean. That wasn't to flex as an independent boss. That's a kept quality. Kathy Hilton, when she told them girls in Beverly Hills, what she said, I ain't never been to the bank. That's what, and people was like, you a lie, you ain't been to the bank. Kathy Hilton been rich all her damn life. I believe her. She probably ain't never been to the bank. Like, well, she ain't gotta go. She ain't never been to the bank.
Oh, because the banker come to her.
You see, because here's what we're not saying. She hasn't made transactions, right? We're not saying that.
Because when you got a coin in that bank,
who go to the bank and stand in the line, yeah, I'm sure Kathy Hilton is one of the people, you know.
Because I know, I said, Lord, let me please get some money to do this whenever. Girl, it happened, but it wasn't my money, but it happened. I said, Lord, next time let it be mine. Girl, I went to that motherfucking bank. Them motherfuckers treated me like gold. Even calling me back up, Mrs. Hogg, this and that. I said, oh, this is how rich people get the treatment. Because, girl, yeah, we could show you how to, you know, no. I said, we just doing one transaction. Take all that money and send it up here. I'm like, girl, because we in there counting up money. I said, ain't this about nothing? I said, Lord, how this happened? I said, give me 50 grand. And bam.
Girl, let me try it. Shit.
Girl, look, give it to me again, but let it be
Okay,
mine.
I mean, yeah, let
Let it
me.
be mine.
Yeah, you don't watch Beverly Hills Housewives, but they got the Queen of Manifestation over there, girl. They are having a field day with that girl.
Next time I'm gonna say, let it be my money.
That's why I'm like, shoot. I'm like, yes, let me manifest that, honey, right in my own bank account. Yes, God, make it happen.
I know that's right.
Look, but yeah, they having a field
Yes.
day with that girl over there talking about she manifested. They manifesting money. They looking like that's it. Like that's all you gotta do.
Well, let me do that shit then. But girl, yeah, I would, yeah. So when, yeah, but definitely like with Kathy Hilton, like she probably never been to a car lot because I remember the one time where we got a vehicle. We test drove it for 2 weeks. They brought it to us. We did all the signing here at the house, and that was it. I said, well, damn, I ain't never did it like this before. I said, oh, that must be good, you know. But he had a person. It was a car dealership out of Ohio, but the guy here that lived in Fort Wayne was the one who took care of everything. I said, oh, that was nice, you know, because I'm like, are we gonna get this vehicle? He's like, I guess. I'm thinking about it. And I'm like, okay, because I ain't never, usually you test driving for a little bit, a couple of hours, but we can get, we test driving it for 2 weeks. I'm like, what damn. Right. I said, that's nice. But yeah, I would, definitely Kathy Hilton. Hell no, she's not going to stand in no goddamn line nowhere. Let me go and see if I can get so-and-so. I don't know. They're doing all kind of different transactions and money wiring and stuff, and then the banker's coming to her. Yeah, because she's got a lot of money over there. So they're gonna roll out that red carpet.
Yeah, see, and to your point, like think about Erica Jane with the situation she found herself in with her husband. So, like and that's her presentation. And I think for all intensive purposes, her marriage to him was one of a kept wife. You know what I'm saying? However, here's the difference in why nobody really was kind of buying her in this scam or field of not having knowledge about how, the movements of her husband, even though she didn't work in his law firm, and that it was the fact that she met him as a single mom. See, like you had a child, you was a single mom. So you was out here like a mama. You know what I'm saying? So you know how to pay the bills. You know how to bank. You know what I'm saying? You know how to budget. You know how to, you know what I mean? You know all the things. Yeah. Because you had to take care of your own self and the child, but somebody who's not really been in that position and went right into, like a marriage and a family and then especially having like these traditional type of values, I very much can see a scenario that is close to that. But I like say it could go either way. I'm making room for what it is she explained. And I'm just kind of saying how my wheels started turning as I was listening to her. Because sometimes you can listen to somebody, you be like, bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But that really wasn't my response listening to her. I listened with an open, with open ears. So that's why I said, I'm like, like I'm like, okay. And then, like I said, after hearing that and watching it again, because that idea didn't come to me at first about Eddie moving that way. It came to me today after learning about them separating their cases, because I wonder why. You know what I mean? Like,
because they both don't want to go to jail. Somebody got to be there to raise the kids.
Exactly. That right. And one wanted speedy, want to hurry up and get it together, so you ain't got enough time. You know what I mean? Like to do. And the other one, is taking it out. You know what I mean? So,
and therefore, she's not going to testify against him anyways.
Well, right. Well, I think their husband and wife, I don't think you could. Yeah.
So maybe there is a better chance of them beating their case that way too.
Well, it's certainly a better chance of her maybe settling and being able to do something. If it's not getting dismissed at this moment, I'm going to assume that there's going to be a settlement is that what it's called?
A plea deal.
Right, a plea. Here I go. I'm saying it's
I thought she was charged with. Wasn't she charged with more counts than he?
Oh, now see, I don't know.
I thought she was.
But that's what I mean. Like, if you're trying to do something speedy, it feels like you probably are going to go more for a plea, and probably something that hopefully don't include jail time. Honestly,
But usually when people, because you have a right to a speedy trial, and I don't know, I don't think they want to prolong it because shit, we prolong it, then I'm getting used to being out. Then you slap me with somebody.
Well, that's what I mean. You prolong it, you get them time to get more evidence. In a sense, I think the speedy trial is the way to for them to present what they have. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you at the point where you feel like you can rebuttal it, but that's why I say I don't know that there's a way. I don't know if it'll actually be dismissed. That's why I'm saying it's more than likely is to take a plea.
No, she
might. I don't know because I
don't know. She might try to take it to trial.
I mean, yeah, I'm thinking she's gonna get a plea. If she was gonna take, I feel like if you was gonna take it to trial, then you would go the route that Eddie's going. I think, especially from that was the other thing I thought when I watched it over again today too, is like saying that may have her hurt in some way. And so when it comes to, that court, and so, yeah, you might need to wrap your part up in the fastest way you can. And that's what I mean. Like, I'm not foreseeing that you able to have a trial in which you are getting anything dismissed and beating it in that sense. I'm thinking that you're gonna try to get down as much as you can and take the least, the minimum that that you can get.
It depends on whatever they offer, as a plea.
Right.
The plea is,
well, that's what I mean.
Yeah, because I know my cousin, he had a plea. Your plea was like for 20 years. He's like, fuck it. I'm about to take it to trial.
Right. I mean, well, yeah, you're right. In that case, you're right. It's like, fuck it. We'll take our chances with the guilty. Maybe we might lock up.
But yeah, it's a terrible situation. That's all I can say. It is very terrible, especially both of them. And how does that affect them moving forward professionally? Is he disbarred or disbarred pending the outcome?
Probably pending the outcome, but I would think that.
So he most definitely should be taking it to trial.
Yeah. Yeah.
I wouldn't be taking a plea.
Right, exactly. With that's the reason why I'm thinking that's where Wendy is leaning, because if you really were trying to get something thrown out, I would think you would need time to get that together.
Girl, well, this happened in October. We into March. So they doing it separate, and when's the next court hearing?
Now, I don't know. I know that Armand he was the one that I got that information from.
Wiggins?
Okay. So so he might have it on his page, but I'm not sure when the next one is. Well, okay, let me go back. Yeah, especially for Wendy, because it would be Wendy coming up first. I think whatever the difference is, the time span, I think her trial should be happening within 180 days or something like that. Let me see if let me go back to it really quick. That's the stipulations of a speedy trial. Armand. Where is that? Lord. Let's see if I saved it. It ain't even on now. It ain't. I know I saw him. Well, if I find it again, we'll catch up back with it. But
Okay.
yeah. But I think that's what it was. So yeah, her time span is like 180 days. And of course I think his can go out longer than that.
Okay.
Or maybe 90 days. It's something like that. Because I think 180 days is still like 6 months, ain't it?
Mm-hmm.
But that might be it though. It might be the 6 months. I think I'm right when I say that. I think I'm right. And oh yeah, let me correct myself. I was wrong. I called that lady Crosby. Her name is Cosby.
Yeah, I saw that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I got I'm like, no, it's Crosby.
Mary Cosby.
Yeah, Mary
As
Cosby.
in Bill Cosby. Okay. I
Yeah.
wonder if they had his funeral yet. I wonder.
I didn't see anything that said that they had.
No.
I know I saw Cynthia saying that she had, reached out, sent her condolences and stuff. Said that I think they stopped filming for Salt Lake City so far. They put it on a halt. It's just a sad situation. Yeah, it's just a sad situation.
Well, girl, I'm gonna get my butt off this live and take my butt to bed.
It's good to get our catch up on for Real
Alrighty.
Potomac and Married to Madison.
Alrighty.
Okay.
We're trying to get Bell Collective done one day.
Hold on real quick, and I'm gonna give you an idea about something. See if you want to think about it. But don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channels, okay? So you can get more live videos and uploads.
All righty. So good morning. Bye-bye.
Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday to you. Throwback Thursday.
Right.